I am Cam Stewart. This is The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. Initially, I was wrong about the Red Sox, and then I was right, and then I was wrong again, and it's been this way the whole year. But I came out here last week, I put my balls on the table on this show and talked about how good this team was, how bad the Yankees suck, how this gap is going to shrink, and that the Red Sox are going to be a playoff team. And I even boldly said they might be a playoff team even if they don't make a splash at the trade deadline. I'm here once again to tell you that I was wrong. I was wrong about that. And even if they do make a move or two at the trade deadline, I don't know that there's any guarantee that this is going to be a playoff team. Since the All-Star break, it has been just bad. Nothing but bad, really. I looked at it as if I finally gave my heart over to the Red Sox by the All-Star break. I finally gave them the power of attorney. And right after the All-Star game, they just pulled the plug on me right away. Life support gone. Because they have just sucked since then. 4 games, 4 losses. First 4-game losing streak in a couple of months. And all of a sudden, that gap that they took a month to shrink down against the Yankees is gone. Now it's like 5.5 games. That's a pipe dream. 6.5 games, I believe. That's a pipe dream now. And you got to worry about the teams like Kansas City and Minnesota who have been consistent all year and are now ahead of you in the wild card race. And the Red Sox have, depending on which publication you go off of, either the first or second hardest schedule for any of these playoff teams throughout the rest of the year. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. In fact, in the 4 games since the All-Star break, they have had the lead in every one of them, and they have lost each game. And on Saturday against the Dodgers, they had the lead 3 fucking times, and they lost. In Colorado last night, they had the lead twice, still lost. Lost to the worst team in the National League. Colorado. Yeah, it's not playing for anything. They beat you in 12 innings. And it just, they're finding ways to lose. They are just like ripping your heart out in these last few games. They have blown it every time. And last night specifically, it felt cruel and unusual. Because first off, they fall down 4-0. So they don't have the lead right away. Their all-star pitcher, Howe, coughs it up against, again, the Rockies. The Colorado Rockies. But I'm going to flash forward to the 11th inning, where they have a 2-run lead. Okay? All they got to do is close it out. Kelly's in the game to close things out. You got the ghost runner at second, 7, 8, 9 in the Rockies lineup. He does something bold that I actually really liked at the time. They're in Denver, the same city that Bill Belichick boldly took an intentional safety in 2003, even when his team was behind, and it led to a better field position game for the Patriots, and they came back and won the game. In the same city, Zach Kelly decides, I'm going to take an intentional balk. The first hitter's up there, hasn't thrown a pitch yet to this guy. Runner's at second. He throws the ball down on the mound on purpose. And I got to say, at the time, I loved it. I loved it. You're up 2 runs. In the reality of baseball, that guy on second base doesn't matter. It's the next guy. It's the next one on base. That's the tying run. So you've got a guy at second who can signal the hitter to potentially steal signs and what pitch is coming. Look, it happens all the time. It's not an Astros thing. This happens still to this day all the time. Catchers and pitchers have to switch up signs so there's a runner at second base. And if you're doing it every inning in extras, that becomes a lot of different signs to go through. Kelly's on there for his second inning, and he decides we're not going to do that. I don't care as much about this guy. If they're going to beat us right now or tie us right now, they're going to have to hit a home run anyway. And there's a better chance of this guy hitting a home run if the runner at second is telling him what's coming than if that runner's at third. Okay? And again, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. A risk if you turn over the lineup and get to the top of the order, sure. But we're talking about 7, 8, 9 for the Colorado Rockies with a 2-run lead. An intentional balk should not sink you. And that's why I was like, I think this is a great move. The only thing that would really suck is if you gave up a 450-foot fucking bomb to the number 8 hitter on the worst team in the National League. Guess what happens next? They keep playing. They get a lead again. They cough it up again. It's the same shit we saw all weekend. And right now, you are down, in this series anyway, you are down your top 3 relievers. Slayton, Martin, Kenley Jansen, if only for this series. All 3 of them done. And the first game, you go into an extra innings and you got no one to throw out there. They don't have the guys, man. They don't have the guys. And who knows how long this Martin and Slayton thing will be, this new look bullpen. You got through it in that last series against Kansas City before the All-Star break, and that has literally been the thing that has sunk your ship all 4 games since then. In 4 games after the All-Star break, they have 5 blown saves. That's almost not possible. But when you're blowing a couple leads every game, it sure as shit is. And it's not going to get any easier. This is the easy part, Colorado. Because after that, then you have the Yankees and the Mariners. It does not get easy. This is what I'm talking about. It's the toughest schedule in baseball the rest of the way. And I don't even know if you're going to get to the trade deadline in any position to be able to keep buying. The buying needs to start now. If you are a buying team, which Craig Breslow certainly would have made that decision, yes or no, by now. If you're a buying team and you think you are a playoff team, you need to go for it. Because the players are getting pissed off about it. Alex Cora asked his players before the season, when we get to the trade deadline, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about whether we're going to buy, whether we're going to sell, this, that, or the other, because we've had it the last couple years. It's fucked with our clubhouse. Let's not do it this year. Last night after the game, Tyler O'Neill says, man, I hope we buy because we're in these games. We just need a few more guys. They've already broken the rule a week before the trade deadline. Oh, man. And look, this team, they're not that far away. I said that the other day. They need to make some deals. That goes without saying. But I wanted to bring this up from Daniel Fox on Twitter. Pretty simple to explain the Red Sox season. They started 18-13. Casas, Yoshida, Abreu, Tyler O'Neill, they all get hurt, okay? They have a ton of struggles offensively after that. They go 14-20 on the stretch afterwards. Then everyone comes back. You have your best month of the year, everyone but Casas. 21-9 after almost everyone comes back. Then Martin and Slayton get hurt. You go lose your next 4 with 5 blown saves. When healthy, this team is better than the Royals. They're better than the Twins. But they haven't been healthy. That's part of this. That is absolutely part of this. Not to be the guy who's like, oh, why haven't they spent any money over the last few years? Even though that is the guy, that I am that guy. But you could have had reinforcements already. Because again, I look at the guys that they could be targeting at this trade deadline. Nathan Eovaldi, that's a guy you had on the team 2 years ago. You let him walk because you didn't think he had a lot left in him. He had a pretty good year last year with the Rangers, won the World Series, great in the postseason again as their number 1 starter. First mistake. Second guy, Justin Turner. Not having a great season, but he could do a job for you on the team this year. You had him last year and a fucking club option, and he's playing in your division. Now, after James Paxton dicked you on Sunday Night Baseball, 8-2 for the Dodgers, they DFA him. So, yeah, of course there's interest there. Another guy, you had him last year. Why didn't you re-sign him? The James Paxton thing made no sense to me. And look, I don't know. Maybe they were just so lowballing and the Dodgers came in with this great deal. We don't know the exact parameters of that. But you had Paxton on a 2-year deal. You signed him when he was injured. He had Tommy John. You knew it was going to be a delayed start. The best you could hope for was, hey, we're going to buy him low because we know what his potential is. When he comes back and he's healthy, if he can be a serviceable starter for us, then we can buy him again on the cheap. Everything worked out. He came back. He had a good year last year. You could have bought him on the cheap, and then you fucking didn't. And now you're like going to trade for him again. Well, DFA, maybe not. I guess not. Like, it's just all of this shit could have been figured out already. But now they're a team that can't withstand injuries. A lot of teams can't, but the best teams can. And that's how close you were to being like that. Instead, we're searching for answers after 4 straight losses out of the All-Star break. This was the team that not just me, everyone was starting to buy into. You know, the MLB fans in general were like, wow, watch out for this Red Sox, man. You had your best month of the season. The Yankees had the worst, and now might be everyone's back to normal. Because you look like a non-playoff team. The Yankees are getting hot. Here we go. You've got to take the next 2 against Colorado. You just have to. And you got a Seattle team that's reeling. After the Yankees, you've got Seattle, who are being overtaken by the Astros. They just lost a big series to them. You got to start beating some good teams here. Got to start beating some good teams. And it starts with bringing some new guys in through the frickin' door, because it has been just abysmal. In the last 4 games, their bullpen has had a 7.20 ERA and a 9.92 OPS against. That's fucking horrible, man. That's horrible. The time is now, or else it's going to start falling out of your hands. Because, again, you might be a better team than Minnesota and Kansas City when you're healthy, but you're not healthy right now, and they are. They're going to keep winning. You got to start making some moves now. Because, again, that Seattle series, that's a team that's going to be battling for a wild card spot. Houston's going to win that division. You're going to be battling in wild card spots for Seattle, New York, Minnesota, Kansas City, and maybe even Texas if they get hot. This is going to be a congested wild card race. And the time is now, because if not in these next couple days, you might be out of it. You might be out of it with 60 games to go. But at game 100, it's not looking peachy, because we don't know when those reinforcements are coming. Kreggles, baby, the time is now. This is the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network.
We are Rogue Media Sports.